An old man has not caught a fish in several days, but he decides to give it one last shot because he's just so determined. Why? Let's read The Old Man of the Sea and find out. Welcome back to BG's Books. I'm Mr. BG, and today I will be reviewing The Old Man of the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. So I've been wanting to read Ernest Hemingway for a little bit now, at least the past couple of years, because I know that Ernest Hemingway is one of the most accomplished writers of not only his time, but of all time. And so I just wanted to see what his writing style was like. And so I decided to go into what I believe is his most, not only his most famous work, but his most easy to get into work, which is, of course, The Old Man of the Sea. And so I've read it. It is very short. I mean, just take a look at that. You can literally read it in a day like I did. But yeah, it basically follows an old man named Santiago who has not caught a fish in several days, but he's determined to, and so he attempts to. So, yeah, anyway, to fully explain what The Old Man of the Sea is really about, let's get right into the summary. So this very short novel follows a man named Santiago, and he is a very old man. We don't know how old he is, but he's certainly older, hence the name, The Old Man of the Sea. But he has not caught a fish in about 84 days, and he lives in a fishing town, and his favorite thing in the world is fishing, so that's not exactly very good for him. And so he used to have this helper named Manolin, who's like this child that would help him and stuff. But due to Santiago not being able to catch a fish in over 80 days, Manolin's parents kind of force him to abandon Santiago and go to other luckier fishermen who can actually catch fish. But Manolin is very loyal to Santiago and helps him move his equipment every night and day and stuff. And so anyway, Santiago decides that he's going to have one last shot at catching a fish. So early that next morning, he heads out, and he heads out in his boat, and he goes to try and catch a fish. And so I guess this town has like a certain limit of where they catch fish and stuff. Like they don't go out past a certain like area, I guess. But Santiago was like, I'm going to go out past this area. I'm going to see what happens. And so long story short, after a little bit of waiting, he finds a marlin fish. And a marlin is basically like a swordfish, at least from what I've seen of it. I don't know, maybe my editor can put a picture of it like here or something. That's what a marlin looks like. Anyway, it's this giant fish with a giant pokey sword thing on its face. And so he reels in the fish, but the fish will not go quietly. So it just like starts fighting back and stuff. But Santiago, he's determined to catch this fish, you know. So he lets the fish swim around for about 3 days while he still holds on. And he's got to admire the fish for its persistence. He's like, this fish is actually pretty smart. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, he finally manages to shank the fish and it dies. But it starts to bleed out, and of course, blood on the ocean means sharks. So the shark starts coming, takes a chunk out of it, but Santiago stabs it and kills it. And then, so yeah, there's that. And then some more sharks come in, and then he keeps stabbing the fish, or the sharks, until his knife breaks. And then he basically attaches another knife to his oar, and then another horde of sharks come in, and they just keep stabbing them. But by the time he gets all of them, it's too late, and the sharks have eaten all of the fish. So the marlin is now no more, it's just bones. So instead of coming back with this fish with all this meat on it, he returns back to the bay with the skeleton of a fish. And then when he gets back, people think it's like a shark skeleton because it's just so big. It's measured at like 18 inches, I believe, which is kind of unheard of for this village. But Santiago goes to sleep, and then Manolin starts to cry when he sees the old man's state of disarray. Like, his hands are all, like, bloody and stuff. He's very clearly worn out after chasing that marlin and fighting off the sharks. But, so, Santiago wakes up and he and Madeline agree to be business partners again, or fishing partners. And then Madeline leaves Santiago, and then Santiago falls asleep where he dreams of one of his favorite dreams, lions on the beach. But that is how The Old Man of the Sea ends. So overall, what did I think of Old Man of the Sea? Well, I think Old Man of the Sea is a very wonderful short story, or I guess novella, just about the true will of human, or the true will of man, and perseverance to get something done, even in impossible odds. So for that, I think the book is really timeless in that way, because there's always impossible odds that someone decides to chase after, and sometimes they may end up taking over that thing like Santiago did. So, I mean, yeah, the book is really solid in itself. It's got a great message of, yeah, and I think it's rather timeless for not only its character, but its simple plot. It's not really that hard to understand. It's just a little hard to follow, which I will explain why in a second. But yeah, I like the characters. I love the themes of determination and perseverance and just sheer willpower of the human mind and stuff, and I love all that stuff. The only drawback I really have about the book is that, at least with the copy that I have, there were no chapters or scene breaks. It just goes from paragraph to paragraph to paragraph. No like scene break with a space or like any chapters to break up the action a little bit. So if you're reading it for the first time like I am, the lack of chapters or scene breaks will definitely make it a little hard to follow. Because I remember towards the beginning of the book, there's a scene where he goes to sleep, and then one or two paragraphs later, Madeline is saying, "Good morning, old man." It's like, when did he wake up? I didn't catch that part. So yeah, that's really the only drawback I have about The Old Man of the Sea. It's like the book is for the most part easy to understand and stuff. Ernest Hemingway very famously had very simple prose. It was not hard to understand at all. I just think that the book is a little hard to follow due to the lack of chapters or scene breaks, like I mentioned. But yeah, that's really the only drawback of it. I really enjoyed The Old Man of the Sea. I love its timeless themes, and I love the writing style. I just wish that one thing with the chapters of the scene breaks would have been there. But overall, my experience was very positive, and I do look forward to going back to it in a few years, reading it again, and see how I feel then. But yeah, so anyway, please go read The Old Man of the Sea if you have not already. It is an iconic story, and for good reason, and my review cannot do it justice. So I highly recommend all of you, please go read it. You will not be disappointed. But that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my review for Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man of the Sea. As I said, I love it. I just wish that one little thing was changed, but that's really about all the complaints I have. Again, it is just such a phenomenal little story about determination and sheer willpower of the human mind, and so much more. It is definitely endured, and for good reason. But yeah, anyway, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you have not already. I am getting very close to 400 subscribers, so I would love if you guys would help me reach that goal. But anyway, yeah, that's about it for me. I've been Mr. BG. This has been BG's Books. And, I wonder what Ernest Hemingway was thinking when he didn't put in any chapters or scene breaks. And done. Wait, before I publish, shouldn't I put in chapter headings or scene breaks or something? Nah, it'll be fine. Whoever doesn't understand it is their fault. And publish. Alrighty. You did good, Ernest. You did real good.